Hello there, everyone. It's that time once again for another episode of Super Cast Brothers, the only Super Smash Brothers related podcast where I get tortured on a regular basis. So if you hate me, congratulations, you're in the right place.
Why do you think we're all here, brother? To torture you, or?
I mean, I'm certainly not getting paid. I can tell you that much. Oh boy!
I think I'm here for the punk rock.
But
Here's
Marshall,
a song I like to call.
but we already did Marshall.
This is a nostalgic ditty from Azerta Fan 59.
Oh God! Please don't be loud.
Came I wrong in a pink spaceship? Da, 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 da. I forgot the lyrics to my own song about Orbulon. It's not Orbulon today. I just felt like bringing that out again. Remember that song?
No, I don't actually.
Yeah, it was on the Orbulon episode. They should all check it out.
Was it?
Right at the start. Yeah.
Was it? Because
Yeah.
I don't remember this. That not that it shocks me. I probably would have blocked it out. But no, we already did our music episode. We did Marshall already. What the heck are you doing with a fucking guitar?
It's an electric guitar, kind of similar. It's not made out of electricity though, like Toxtricity could probably procure.
Toxtricity? The
Yeah.
Pokemon?
The Pokemon, yes. You know, from Sword and Shield, one of the only good things about Gen 8.
Well, now hang on. Now let's not be too crazy. Gen 8 also has Appleton.
That's also true.
Appleton is
That's
amazing.
true.
Also,
is this about Appleton
Obstagoon?
Yeah.
Surfetched? I mean,
You're
come
lucky
on.
that
There's
doesn't
some
have
good
an amp
designs
right now, by
in
the
there.
way.
Do what? I actually didn't hear
You're
that.
lucky that. Oh, you're lucky that this doesn't have an amp plugged in right now, or else we'd all be doomed.
I
But,
think by we'd
yeah.
all be doomed, I think you mean you'd be doomed because I would end you.
True. But can
Anyways.
you end me? Can you truly end me when I am a superhero?
You're not a superhero.
Oh, yes, I am.
No. You're
Do
better.
you not know me for my secret identity? Oh, you do. You do not know me for my public identity.
Yeah. Chance Rivers.
Appleman.
I quit. I fucking quit. I'm done.
Oh, the people who are listening.
I'm
on
going
audio,
home.
They're
I don't
missing
want
out on
to deal
so
with this
much.
bullshit anymore.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I just want to talk about how a Pokemon would be in Smash. Yeah, it's not like we don't already have 20 Pokemon in Smash, but hey, why not one more? Why the hell not? It's still possible we could get one for DLC. There's 2 slots left. 2.
Seriously, yeah. 2.
Hi, Pirate Mithra. You just took one of the last few slots. We'll talk about you guys soon. Don't you worry.
A couple more
You'll get
episodes,
your
yeah.
day. But, although
like Ron.
technically we already talked about them in the Rex Smashtopia back in our first year. Whoops.
Yeah. Throwing us for a loop
Fuck.
as always, Sakurai.
We didn't think it was going to happen. So we're just like, oh, we'll just do our own. And, well, technically Rex didn't happen. Technically speaking.
Yeah.
He's been
Rex
relegated
did
to
maybe.
a final smash and a taunt. Congratulations, you're the new
Yeah.
Crom.
Can't
bet
wait for
it
the next
feels
game where he's
great.
playable, but he still is in Pyra and Mithra's moveset as well.
I mean, I actually do have an idea on how he could be playable still. But we'll discuss that when we actually get to a Pyra and Mithra on topic episode.
Soon enough.
Yeah,
Soon.
yeah. But yeah, no.
Mithra did appear in the Survivor Brothers episode, so.
Do what?
Oh, Mithra appeared in Super Survivor Brothers as well.
She did. She did. That was our last episode. She got voted out very early.
Whoops.
Very early. I don't think
Yeah.
they like the new kid that much.
No,
Oopsies.
possibly not. It wasn't too much of a, a fuster cluck, if you will, until the second one.
The second season? Yeah, that was
Yeah.
whoo boy! Whoo
Yeah, that
boy.
was some fun though. You should go check that out, guys. But yeah, it's a Pokemon episode and kind of making a habit out of it. We did Gengar last year, and now we're doing Shuckle.
You mean Cinderace?
Hell no.
Because the only new Pokemon we're getting is fire starters.
Forever. I would rather do Shuckle.
I'd rather do Bruxish. And I think Bruxish is as ugly as sin. To be fair, it's supposed to be. But, yikes. Yeah. Although, it's better than Jordagon?
I would rather do Jinx.
I mean, Jinx you could actually do something interesting with. What? Oh, no.
We could play Connect 4 together.
No.
I mean
that. No, moving on. We are here today to talk about Toxtricity and how they could work in Smash. And when we were playing this, we were just like, hey, we should do another Pokemon. I agree. There's like a million of them. It's easy. You can put almost zero effort into it. It's like, oh, let's do one from Generation 8, because it's the newest thing, and as far as the Smashtopia Wiki is concerned, Generation 8 is the only one that doesn't have a playable Pokemon on the Wiki yet. So, hey, let's do that. It's like, okay, but which one? Well, there's a few options. But the one that everybody likes is Toxtricity. But isn't that 2 poison types in a row? Yes. But to be fair, we gave no credence to Gengar's poison type in his moveset. It was just like, poison? What's that? You're a ghost. To be fair, why is Gengar poison type? Don't know.
I don't know.
It just is. Doesn't make much sense to me, but he's poison type, so hey. What the fuck ever, I guess.
He's moving it slow.
But Toxtricity...
Elective O?
What? Okay. But Toxtricity is a poison/electric type, which is a unique typing throughout the Pokemon universe. Interesting thing about there's always every generation. There's always a few standout Pokemon that people just latch onto their designs. Gen 4 Lucario was pretty much everyone's baby. Everyone's like, give me that Lucario, and I was just kind of like, yeah, he's cool, but can we stop talking about him for 10 years? Like, he's not the only... He pretty much immediately gained Charizard status. Took no effort.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Lucario's not cool, but I'm saying, like, guys, there's other Pokemon.
Yeah.
I mean, Croagunk was pretty fucking cool for me.
Yeah.
Roserade. Gen 5 didn't really have... What? Oh. Gen 5 didn't really have, like, a breakout Pokemon besides, I guess, Zoroark, but even then, it didn't really get latched onto like others have. Gen 6... I'm not really sure if Gen 6 did either. I don't know. But Gen 8, one of the big standout Pokemon was Toxtricity. A lot of people talked about it. They were commenting on its design, its looks. I think part of what actually helped it out was that you get its pre-evolved form just given to you in the game. So it's not something that you just have to rarely encounter, and then people are like, oh, hey, that's cool. Everybody's just like, hey, I got this thing. Did you get this thing? Yeah, we all got the thing. Let's all talk about the thing.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me. And he's also just got a good design. I like it.
It's pretty cool. And I like how they have the what is it, amp form and what, chill, relaxed form?
It is, hang on. Amped form and low-key form. And they actually have different personalities.
Yeah.
Along with their designs being slightly different.
Yeah, so that's pretty neat. They did a good job making it look like a punk rocker.
Oh, yeah.
Esque kind of, yeah.
It's also one of the few Pokemon that has a Gigantamax form. Although it wasn't available at release, it was, well, I mean, technically DLC. It was... It was on the disc, but you couldn't get one until they had the special release of it post-game in the Max Raids. And then it was available and you can get it. And then once they added in Isle of Armor and they had the Max Soup, then you can just give the Max Soup to any Toxtricity, it will gain its Gigantamax form. Because that was that's the dumb thing about Gigantamax. It was like, oh, all Pokemon can Dynamax, but only certain Pokemon can Gigantamax, and only certain of those certain Pokemon can Gigantamax. So it's Mega Evolution with an extra step.
Got it.
It's like Mega Evolution. Every Charizard can do it. Every Lucario can do it. Every Lopunny can do it. Gigantamaxing. Some Charizards can do it. Don't know why, but it's only some. Dumb.
I don't know.
And the Dynamaxing is just, what if Pokemon big?
Yeah.
What if Pokemon big? And I hate it. It's dumb. It's a
freaking
not a
Megazord
fan.
Pokemon.
I mean.
Yeah.
So yeah, today we're here to go ahead and talk about Toxtricity. You know, animations, its moves. We're gonna give him the Smash Brothers treatment here.
Oh yeah. I think it's worth noting, you skipped Gen 7 for the iconic Pokemon. Clearly, everyone's beloved fan favorite was Incineroar.
Oh, I was gonna say a Alolan Executor. I mean, the internet fucking loved the Alolan Executor. Now, to be fair, which one would I rather have in Smash? Incineroar or Alolan Executor? Incineroar. But honestly, to briefly go on this subject, obviously the both of us were both hoping for Decidueye because one, we didn't have a grass starter yet, and two, he's just fucking cool looking. It's a ghost archer owl. Fuck yeah, that's awesome. That said, I do understand why we got Incineroar. It's our second fire starter, technically, but also technically it's our only one. Because the Pokemon Trainer in Charizard, it's all part of one big package deal. And Greninja is separate. Now, for his name already, Incineroar is separate. So now, technically, we're missing a grass starter. While we were technically missing a fire starter as well, I guess, if you want to think about it that way. But also is the fact that he's a wrestler, and we don't have any character that works like that yet in Smash. Would I prefer they go with a different wrestler option? Yes. But I can understand why we got Incineroar. Whatever.
Yeah.
It was not in my top 5 of Gen 7 Pokemon I would have liked to see. But whatever. It probably would have been in the top 10, I guess, if I had to make that. Top 20 for sure. Because there's not really 20 that I think would work too well.
Also true.
Tapu Koko, though, would have been amazing. Would have been amazing.
I was pulling for Incineroar so long as he was riding type Null, which didn't happen.
What about Mimikyu?
Oh yeah.
That was
a favorite of some of our friends.
There was a not very believable leak about, oh, they're doing a heroes and villains theme, and Mimikyu's gonna be playable. It's like, first of all, that's not a hero or a villain, it's a Pokemon. Come on. Second of all, there is no heroes and villains theme in Smash. I've seen some people be like, oh, look at this, they added another villain. It's like, dude, they added 3. 3 out of over 20 characters is not a theme. Sorry. No.
So to some people out there that we may know.
I'm sorry, but no. Sephiroth, King K. Rool, and Ridley is not a theme. It's not.
And Sephiroth's not even really a villain.
And Steve isn't a hero. And Min Min isn't a hero.
And K. Rool, he was turned good by Joker entering his palace.
Now you've got me thinking about what the villains' palaces might be, and I don't want to think about that right now.
Because
we have other things to talk about.
Eat people.
Oh, wait, listen. Ridley only killed her parents one time, okay? It was just the one. It's not like he did this multiple times. It's not like he's been psychologically following her throughout every existence she ever goes to try to escape from. Oh, that's Sephiroth, actually. Like, oh, really? Cloud, I see you've been having a fun time in Smash Brothers without me. You think you finally found peace. Hello. What's up? Never escaping me. Ever.
Oh, that's...
You can go to any reality you want, and Sephiroth will always be waiting for you. Eventually.
But he has such a nice shirtless ult. Can he really be that bad?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Even worse than Jigglypuff? Wow.
Yes.
The silent nod means it's true.
It is very true. But you know who's
Yeah.
better than Sephiroth? Toxtricity! Alright, let's actually get into this. How about that? How about we talk about this majestic as fuck looking Pokemon here? And I don't mean Galarian Rapidash, although that is also majestic as fuck. Let's be real. It is.
Yep.
Also
Yep.
Alolan Ninetales.
Yeah. Agreed. And Garborder.
I mean, his Gigantamax form amuses me. Can't deny that. He's got a Master Ball in his muck, and it's he's got a subway train and a toy plane. It's like, what the hell happened here? I don't know, but I'm amused by it. It's like, all right, somebody was having fun with this design. I'm like, okay, sure, whatever.
Toxtricity would use Gunk Shot if he had all that trash.
What if he does use Gunk Shot in his moveset?
I guess we'll see.
I guess we'll see. But first, how's he going to enter the field? Because that's the first thing we got to figure out is how does he show up?
Yeah, when we enter into a Smashtopia moveset, we enter with the entrance for the character.
It's true. It's true. We do that.
So, shall you or I commence into this forte of the entrance exam for the punk Pokemon being?
Wait, do we have exams?
Yes, didn't the professor tell you?
It's Jigglypuff seen from above.
Yep.
Yes! You guys could get that.
And it's Jigglypuff seen from below as well.
Oh. Is that how we're entering the field with Toxtricity?
Yeah, he rolls in on Jigglypuff.
Oh, okay.
And this Jigglypuff is a part of a punk rock band, so when it sings, it's actually a low.
Does it have like goth eyeshadow or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's like Jigglypuff.
Okay, not gonna lie, I kind of think that'd be a fun idea now. Jigglypuff with like heavy eyeshadow or some shit. I think that'd be amusing. All right.
Okay, you want to lead us in?
I guess I will. So, simple enough, you know. With rare exception, I think the exceptions are just Lucario and Mewtwo. Every Pokemon in Smash, it enters by a Pokeball of some form being thrown on the stage, and they appear out of it. Nice and easy. I was considering having Toxtricity just appear, and he'll just be like rocking on a air guitar or whatever. I was like, yeah, I'd rather just have him be in the Pokeball. Fuck it. But I decided to make it be a Great Ball, just have so it's something different.
Nice.
I think I can't remember what we did for Gengar. I think it might have been a Dusk Ball, or maybe he just appeared too. I'm not really sure. I'd have to look.
I think it was Dusk Ball.
Dusk Ball makes sense. And I know there's been a few that I've made on the wiki that I just had them be like different Pokeballs as well, just for a little variety, you know. I thought a Great Ball, yeah, you know, why not? Something a little different.
Yeah. Precisely. I have him coming out of a Safari Ball.
Really?
No. So
Okay.
that whole idea that you mentioned with the air guitar and just jumping on stage. Yeah, I have it jumping on stage, and it's playing one of two different types of guitars.
Like an actual physical guitar.
Not quite. It's more an electrical field that looks like a guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And one's a regular electric guitar like this, and the other's a bass. Why did I make this something important?
I don't know.
Point out. We will see later on.
So again, to be clear, you're talking about like he's actually holding a real guitar.
He can. But I was thinking, I've seen some like Gigantamax form.
Yeah, he has
artwork.
like an electric guitar, or electricity in
Yeah,
the general
yeah.
shape of a guitar in his Gigantamax form.
That's
That's the only time
what
we see it, I
I'm saying,
think.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm saying something more like that. And it's like, wow, wow.
Okay.
Guitar. That's all. It doesn't need to be whatever.
Why
You can
are
come
there
out of the
different
Pokeball and then
kinds?
go. We'll talk about it later. How about we just keep it simple? It's a electrical field guitar.
Okay. That makes more sense. And is less
Mm-hmm.
what the fuck. So he pops out of a great ball and just very quickly does whatever you call this thing on the guitar,
Yeah,
and then he's ready to
strums
fire.
the guitar.
That's sure.
Yeah.
That's the word. Yeah, I'll remember that word for later when I need to make use of it myself.
That's the riff. Nice.
Sure, I don't know music, so yes, you could tell me it's a potato, and I'd be like, I don't believe you, but okay.
Yes, it comes out of a potato ball.
We do need new Pokeballs. Like, come on. Like, give us
Yeah.
some new kinds of Pokeballs game. There was
I think
nothing
you
that
and I
seemed
were
like
Pokemon.
specific to what Toxtricity was. Like, just fucking a great ball, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. You and I would come out of a potato ball.
Yeah, it's. Yeah. I can't deny
I
that.
do. I like a potato. Yeah.
All right, so that's gonna be our entrance. Kirby hat. I feel like this one's also gonna be probably pretty simple. You know, it's like he does for like Pikachu, where he's got like a little cap of Pikachu's head, so it's just gonna be Toxtricity's head, complete with like little electrical.
Currents.
Sure, sure. I don't.
Yeah, you
I
don't
don't know
know
what they're
music.
called.
I know.
No, the things on his head.
Yeah, I know. I was messing with you. Sparks, currents. I know what you're talking about. The
All
people know.
The people that know Toxtricity know what I mean when I say electrical things on his head.
Preach it, brother.
But yeah, I was also considering, because obviously his costumes are going to have both different forms of Toxtricity. And I was thinking maybe the Kirby hat could change depending on which form it is. But no other Kirby hat does that in terms of like different forms of characters. So
yeah,
I don't really think it's necessary.
I concur. For Kirby, what I presented is a little bit different.
Really?
So, so he takes on Toxtricity's form, but it's actually one of two guitars.
Is this the bit tonight?
He's walking.
Is this the bit? Everything's going to be one of two guitars. Jesus.
Really, I just have it down like it's a Toxtricity hat. It's like Pikachu's hat. It's like Charizard's hat. Wow.
Yeah.
There you go.
I mean, I think there's a few that are different. I mean, actually, well, yeah, Mewtwo is different because he just gets like Mewtwo's fucking protrusions sticking out of his head. It's like it's weird, but all right, all right.
Creepy.
I'm not sure what Incineroar's is now that I think about it. I can tell what every other Pokemon's ones is except for his. Oh, who cares about Incineroar anyways, right?
Soren does.
Who?
Our 6-year-old fan.
Oh.
Hey, Soren.
Hi.
Thanks for listening.
Why is Incineroar your favorite Pokemon? I don't know. I'm just. It's not that I hate Incineroar, but I do think it's where the Torracat goes from being a decent-sized cat to a Hulk Hogan cat. It's a little
including in looking like a human.
It feels like there's a missing step somewhere in there.
Maybe. I wonder how Hulk Hogan aged.
Poorly.
Maybe he too was a cat. Yeah, the last thing he was famous for recently was a video.
That's the only thing we're famous for.
Not the same kind.
Okay.
Anyway.
So the next thing we need to discuss, now that we've figured out that we have our entrance and our Kirby hat, taunts and victory poses. I don't know about you, but mine are pretty fucking simple. There really wasn't much that I felt like needed to be done here. It's just like, alright, this makes sense, that makes sense. This is a very simple motion, but sure, fuck it.
Yeah.
You want to start us off here?
Pretty much. Sure. That's pretty much the same here anyway. Sat down a couple nights ago before recording this, and just was taunts and victory poses were what remained. And unlike most episodes of Smashtopias, where we just veer into the earth for half an hour on just taunts and victory fucking poses, I'm kind of thinking here won't be that difficult.
I hope not.
I hope not to. So, yeah, mine are fairly simple as well and given. So,
we're going to be
start
completely
off,
different. We're going to fight over
it. Maybe so. Toxtricity throws both hands in the air, the note says, making rock-on symbols, and jovially smiles as if looking towards fans.
All right.
Maybe there's clapping fanfare, maybe not.
I have something similar.
Really?
Yeah. Toxtricity will do one of these, not with both hands, so you're not looking, so you don't know what's happening. Jesus fucking Christ. So he'll hold up one of these, but then he's also going to be, what's it called? Head banging. That's what it is. He's going to be doing that, so he's rocking onto something.
Nice. I don't know why I didn't think of headbanging.
I don't know
That's
either. He's
great.
literally the punk rock Pokemon.
Yeah.
Wow. What's your second taunt? Almost forgot the word there.
The second taunt is that Toxtricity actually it's another hand gesture. But yeah, so I'm not gonna quite make it. So it's another hand gesture, and he says we must fight the establishment.
No, what? You remember when he said that we were going to spend like half an hour on taunts and victory poses? Well, he lied, because he's got like half of this nonsense going on.
It's the punk rock Pokemon. He has a shirt on as well when he does this taunt. And it says, Sir Fetched would have won. Anyway.
God, I fucking hate you.
Toxtricity throws a trash can. This is the real one. Toxtricity throws a trash can underneath itself and sits on it, kicking its legs back and forth.
Oh, okay. What? What?
Where's the question here?
The question is, what is your second taunt?
That's...
Are you sure? Because that sounds like a victory pose.
Let's overview the victory pose and see... Oh. Yeah, let's...
Yes.
Let's keep it as a taunt for now, and if we decide it can be a victory pose, then maybe so.
God, I'm fucking scared now. Alright, well, my second taunt is, you know those little, purple things on his chest?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Toxtricity, you know, he can strum those and generate electricity. That's how he works.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird, but whatever. So I have it so that Toxtricity is like, it kind of looks like he's just scratching his chest, but he's strumming the things. And they're making like little music sounds, like I don't know what the hell, like some kind of like guitar sound, like when you, I don't know the words, when you do the string, the
string.
Yeah. That sound. Something like that. Fucking no music, guys. Give me a fucking break. Okay, not a whole set, just like one.
His would probably be in tune. I didn't tune this at all.
I mean, technically, he'd probably hit like 3 or something as he's scratching his chest there. But, you know, that's the idea behind it.
Nice. 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 I enjoy this scratching of the chest. I will do it to myself. Okay, so the third and final...
Todd?
Okay. Here's the thing, right? Mine is the exact same thing.
Nice.
He plays a few notes on his chest. The only thing that is different is that I said maybe it can be reminiscent of the main Pokemon theme. That's it.
That'd be way too long.
Yeah.
That'd be way too fucking long.
That's what they all say.
We've discussed too many long taunts for Smashtopias. The idea of having indefinite ones has come up several times.
Like Luigi's kick.
That's not an indefinite.
It will be.
No. God. Anyways, my third one, it's a bit of a throwaway. It's just he does a simple dance and spin move. I don't know what it would be, but I was just like, fuck it, he dances. I didn't say it was a winner.
It works. It
yes.
works. We all need to dance our hearts away sometimes.
That's not true. Anyways, victory poses. Let's go ahead and lay those out so we can pick out our whole set there.
Persona 5 quote. Okay. So, victory poses.
Yes, your first one.
In its low-key stance.
Whoa, hold on. They're not stances, they're completely different forms.
Sorry, I meant in its low-key form, yeah.
He doesn't transform the forms.
Oh, I know.
Like, so how would he be in the low?
I know. I don't know.
I don't know what you're doing.
I thought we were doing low-key Toxtricity this whole time.
What? It's just Toxtricity, and some of them are the amped up form, some of them are the low key form. There's no switching.
Luckily, I was joking. Okay,
I don't think he was. I don't think he was.
Toxtricity sits down and plays a contemplated version of its victory theme on its guitar. That's all I have down.
So just a calm and peaceful version of it.
Yeah, it's like a meditative for the music lovers out there. It's like he becomes Cat Stevens, the post-punk rock era of his life.
You know, I just had a thought here. So some characters in Smash, generally speaking, anything from one series will have the same victory music for all of them. But then there are some instances where it's a little bit different. Like Meta Knight has a more rock version of the Kirby victory music, while Kirby and King Dedede share the same music. Toxtricity could just be a rock version of the regular Pokemon victory theme.
Yeah.
Which fits perfectly because my first victory pose is heavy air guitar. That's literally the exact way I wrote it, just heavy air guitar. He just goes fucking nuts with air guitar during his victory music.
Excellent.
It makes sense.
Excellent. That brings me to my second victory pose. Toxtricity plays an epic guitar-fueled jam.
I think that one's locked.
Yeah. Yeah.
For my second one, Toxtricity is going to pull out a citrus berry. He's going to take a bite out of it, just like consume the whole thing. He's just going to wipe his mouth off as well. And I was like, hey, I just did a lot of fighting. Let me recover a little bit of health here. Oh god, that was so good. But I got juice all over me, so we got to get rid of that.
I can relate. Nice.
I bet.
Nice. So for my third victory pose, it's kind of similar to that one, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, except he's taking a shot of throat spray after a heavy battle.
Gotta admit, didn't see that one coming.
And burps, because burp is one of Toxtricity's moves, not necessarily in my moveset, but it's one of its moves.
You mean belch?
Yeah.
I wonder if there. It's belch.
Okay, I read burp.
It's definitely not burp. It's belch.
Sorry. Okay, I read it while I was on the Portuguese wiki, so I guess I should have read it in English.
What? All right, my third victory pose. So, God, so he's gonna like have. I don't know how to describe this really. This is part of why we have video now, so I can not have to verbally describe everything. So he's gonna like have electricity sparking off of him. He's gonna have his arms kind of out while this is happening. Then, you know, the classic rapper stance. They just put their arms however it's done. I don't know things, but he does that. It's not. It's still music related. It works for Toxtricity.
Yeah,
and it's a music to me.
Toxtricity's in that kind of Run DMC, Tony Hawk, pro skater Toxtricity.
I don't know what Run DMC is, but sure.
Toxtricity saying, "Walk this way, baby."
Maybe. I don't know. All right, so now we just gotta figure out which ones we're gonna use. I think it's pretty simple. Air guitar is gonna be one of them.
Clearly, yes.
Pretty safe bet there.
Mm-hmm.
What you thinking on some of the others? I mean, we're definitely gonna have one where he's got like the rock on, but which version for a taunt?
Which version? You know what? I'm good with going with yours because I think headbanging should be a part of this somewhere.
It makes sense. He's got a massive head.
Raucous, funky. Yeah, exactly. I'm jealous. And then... so I think we can lock in the headbanging taunt.
All right, cool. And we both had one where he scratches his chest as well, so might as well have that.
And it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Literally, so lock it in.
His third taunt. We had the dance and spin, we had sitting on a garbage can, and those are our options. Just those two, because everything else is already there.
Yeah.
Because the other two we had were almost the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
What do we think about the garbage can? Do we think it's maybe better as a victory pose? Or maybe...
I think you need to describe it to me again.
Okay. Toxtricity throws a trash can underneath itself and sits on it, kicking its legs back and forth. So the garbage, it's pretty much already underneath of it, just kind of spawns, jumps up on it.
So sometimes the problem I have is just trying to imagine how things would happen as quickly as they need to happen in Smash.
Yeah.
Because, like, sure, I can imagine him, like, pull out the trash can. Okay, I can see that happening really quickly and getting on it, but then kicking his legs against it feels like, all right, it feels like this is getting long.
Mm-hmm. Maybe so. I think of it as maybe a 3-second process. Or maybe you get rid of the kicking, or maybe the taunt is indefinite.
Here's an idea that you can do with the trash can.
Mm-hmm.
What if Citrus Berry or Throat Spray taunt, either way, he's leaning against a trash can?
Oh, okay. Implying that he took it from the trash.
And it's filled with sludge.
Yeah. Okay. And I guess we'll figure out the dance move in shop.
Sure. The only thing I had feels just like it's pretty much just like a spin move. It's like, fuck it, I don't fucking know shit.
Maybe I'll look into punk rock dances.
Yeah, sure, you can do that.
Yeah. I can and I will.
With a trash can.
Date and time.
Alright,
Okay.
so back to the victory poses then. So we've got the heavy air guitar one. We both have one where he's either eating a citrus berry or he's taking some throat spray. We have the rapper pose, and you also had an air guitar one, right?
It was the same thing, yeah. Yeah, we're fast tracking your guitar.
You had something else, though. You had something else I'm not remembering.
Oh, yeah. Where it's sitting down with its legs crossed and playing a slower version of the song.
That's right. It was. Okay.
Right.
So we've got the air guitar. What else do we want to have with it?
Toxtricity. The Toxtricity we're building
Mm-hmm.
is kind of known for having an attitude.
Yes, very much so.
So, with that being said, I kind of wonder, throwing my own pose under the bus, I kind of wonder if the sitting down and playing plaintively even really fits.
I mean,
it could.
If you ask me, I don't think it's as representative of the character as other things would be. Like, I don't imagine a Tox... I mean, sure, Tox is going to have whatever personality they want. But I don't look at one and I don't think, oh, this guy's just going to sit on the corner and just play a soft little song for good little boys and girls. Not you.
Oh, yeah.
Not a... Fuck, I forgot her name, so I ruined the joke. Alright, moving on.
Shiranui?
That's the one. She doesn't get to listen to the song.
Okay. What about Sephiroth?
I mean, only if he's shirtless.
Okay. A fine compromise.
Sure.
The Song of Despair.
Yes. So Victor poses in. So we've got the air guitar. We're saying no to the slow song, which means we just have citrus berry / throat spray, and then rapper pose. I think rapper pose is in based on what you're doing, especially since otherwise we'd have to have two of the other ones. So then for the third one, do we want him eating a citrus berry and wiping his mouth, or do we want him taking a dose of throat spray?
Do you have a... I shouldn't ask if you had a preference, because clearly it will be for your own.
I mean, you're right. Well, a large part is why I like that one in particular. Just like it's got the added motion of him having to wipe his mouth off with his arm. I just think that's amusing.
True. He can open up the throat spray and pour the rest of it all over his head.
Well, in that case, why don't you just give him a Gatorade?
Punk rocker, not a professional football player.
All right, then give him alcohol.
Okay.
Punk rocker.
Yeah.
not a daycare nanny.
Just clam chowder. Holy cow. Just some. We'll save that for a Splatoon character. Citrus berry, yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
So, were they all mine?
Technically,
everything was mine so far. Okay, maybe I should have written things down in extra detail than I initially had. Shit. Fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
the thing
right.
is, there was a lot of overlap.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. I'm not too terribly surprised for that. I was very surprised to see something similar to citrus berry though. Like I thought it was like, oh man, I got a unique thing here. This is gonna be way different. And it's like throat spray is like, okay.
That's because the low key form was actually real, and I came up with throat spray on the Fritz.
So what were you trying to say there originally? Did you think that you could transform, or?
No, I didn't. I just had it like that anyway. Not that I knew why.
So, okay, what did it say? Because now I'm curious.
Toxtricity throws its arms back over its head and lazily looks off with a yawn.
And that's the whole thing?
That's the whole thing.
Did you have a variant for the amped up form?
No.
Wow.
Lazy days.
Wow. Because I would say it would be kind of interesting to have one of the victory poses or even a taunt be different depending on which version of Toxtricity it is. Like maybe it could change how he's playing the air guitar.
Mm-hmm.
That could be interesting to just have that.
Yeah.
Like the amped up form does one particular
contemplated
pose
one.
with it, and Loki does a different form of air guitar. That could be interesting. I say we do that. Fuck it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. We'll get more into the differences between amped up and low key probably only when we get to the alternate costumes, because I don't think it's going to have an effect on our movesets, or at least it doesn't on mine. Because that would be stupid to have it be locked to costumes. Right, Jonno? Did you do something that would be different between them? Did you? Because there's a reason I said that, assuming you probably did. I'll just give you... Okay, you're saying no now, but you really mean yes.
No, I mean no.
Good.
Flashbacks to when we first recorded the Waluigi episode.
And you had nothing prepared?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We only
Yeah,
have
and
an
I
hour
told
in.
you, no, we're stopping and doing this over again. I was so pissed off. It's like, bitch.
Growing pains, huh?
No, you being dumb pains. Jonno pains. Not me pains.
I don't even know what you mean by that.
You do, though.
That's how dumb I am.
Let's find out just how dumb you are when we get into the moveset now, because that might be the... No, yeah, that's definitely the fastest we've ever gone through the taunts and victory poses ever, period.
Thank God.
Thank fucking God. Although I do kind of wonder, should we talk about the home stage before we do all that? Like, normally we do the home stage at the it's the last thing we do. But I kind of wonder, maybe I should have brought this up for the episode. Maybe we'll just wait to discuss it another time. But maybe in the future we'll move the home stage to be sooner. Just because it feels weird to do it after everything else.
Yeah. Do you want to do it now?
Kind of.
Okay, let's do it now.
Do you have anything written down?
Yeah, I do. I actually had a bit of difficulty deciding on one place.
Really? Because I didn't, because we already discussed this stage at the stage episode. And I said in that episode that this is Toxtricity stage. It's Spike Muff City. I totally
forgot. What?
Spike Muff City.
Oh yeah, that was one of my first choices.
Yep. So,
if you're curious, the other ones that I had down, just for
the
sake of it. A nebulous wild area.
Yep, fair.
Sure, you know,
I think that's definitely an idea for something that should happen.
Mm-hmm. Pinpointing a portion of the wild area with a lake of outrage. Pokemon Stadium 3 for no reason other than it's Pokemon Stadium 3. Max Lair.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting idea.
And also, the Den of Toxtricity changing forms as a single Pokemon.
No. I did before... if we didn't have Spike Muff City already mentioned in that episode, I would have considered Winden Stadium, which would have essentially been like a Pokemon Stadium. I wouldn't have called it Pokemon Stadium 3, because technically that's Kalo's Pokemon League, considering how it functions. So I would have just had to be like, oh yeah, it's the next Pokemon League stage. But Spike Muff City, you could say it fits Obstagoon better, and if I ever make an Obstagoon submission, I might change that. But for now, I think that city would also work for Toxtricity pretty damn well. I mean, Piers is a rocker. Toxtricity is the punk rock Pokemon. I feel like if Piers wasn't a dark type specialist, he would have a Toxtricity on the team.
Very true. I concur. So Spike Muff City it is, because we already willed it into existence. So
yeah. I mean, if you like a different idea more, we can discuss it.
No.
But
as you know, I haven't even played Gen 8. I'm pretty ambivalent. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand that, but I've now played it twice. The Hunt for the Living Dex, which is complete. I had the whole thing. It's done.
Excellent.
Until Gen 9.
Now you can perform a punk rock pose in celebration. Yeah. I will perform a rapper pose.
Okay. Well, that's a little calm for a rapper, isn't it?
Don't call it a comeback.
Okay. I won't. There you go. That's a little bit more rapper. Not that I know. The only, let's be real, the only rapper I know is Saran Wrap.
The wrapper around American cheese, maybe.
Ugh.
Don't you love it when plastic gets involved in your food?
Don't you love it when plastic lives longer than you?
It's a reality.
It is.
One day the entire Earth will be a ball of plastic.
One day you will be part plastic.
You know what? We probably already are. Terrifyingly enough.
Yeah. But you know what? We can stop thinking about that and start thinking about... Did you take some throat spray?
Yeah.
You might want more.
Sure. Football star.
Alright. Now we've actually gone through all of that, and we also did the home stage as well a little bit earlier than it usually is in, but I think that's a good spot to put it, kind of like on the from here on, I think.
Okay.
Let's actually get into the special moves now. So, we got our usuals. We got them standard, side, up, down, and final smash. We got that extra skill, which for anybody that's new to joining us around, an extra skill is just a fifth special move, to put it simply enough. It could be a full-on move, it could be a gimmick for the character, it could be a transformation for them, or a stance change, or stats, or whatever. It's essentially just like something extra that we decided, you know what? Let's make this truly our own and have something that Smash doesn't actually have in there. So, yeah. Jonno, would you like to start with your standard special?
Sure.
Alright, let's get it.
Okay, let's get it. My standard special is Gunk Shot.
Aha!
Yes. Once upon a time, I mentioned a garbage can.
You did.
The garbage can returns in this move.
Are you in the garbage can?
Yes. Yep.
Is the Grinch in the garbage can?
Yes. Also the Grinch.
Is
He commonly
Incineroar
appears in
in the
Sesame
garbage
Street in
can?
the garbage can. Maybe. Depends on how long you charge it.
Is Crom in the garbage can?
Yes.
Is PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale in the garbage can?
At the very bottom.
Yeah.
The very, very bottom of the can. It's crusted in there. Takes the garbage can, flings it. He's holding it. He flings this crap in the can.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Which, again, chargeable. If you charge it mid-range, it throws gunk mid-range. If you charge it longer, it throws gunk further. And just covers the field in muck that opponents can slip on. And it hurts them if they're attacked by it and stuff.
So here's my question. The gunk that's being thrown out the can, is it like just like sludge? Or is it also just like trash mixed in there, like banana peels or Pokemon magazines from 20 years ago that nobody looks at anymore? A broken Pokeball, perhaps. A broken Pokedex, even.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not just sludge. I wasn't sure what to specifically specify, but a lot of sludge and just, detritus from this stuff festering for so long in the trash can. But also, trash.
Okay.
Trash.
All right.
And maybe the trash can be mixed up. It looks a little bit different every time you throw it.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Get a little bit of fun in there. So for me, this move, nothing works like this move. This is Overdrive. Overdrive is Toxtricity's signature move in Pokemon. No other Pokemon can use it. But for Smash, I have this looking as, while you hold down the special button, there's just like this constant sphere of electricity around Toxtricity. So he's kind of like hunkered down a bit while this is happening. And it's just constantly like shooting off small sparks from, like, they're not traveling across the stage. It's just like, just around him, really. And any opponent that comes into contact with this is damaged. Whether that's a physical move or something else. But while he's doing it, he's kind of locked into position here. Like, he can't do anything. He's just stuck there holding on this move indefinitely, truly. Which also means he's very vulnerable to attack. Ranged moves, he's fucked if he gets hit. He's using. I mean, granted, he can always just like let go of the button and break out of the move, but he's very vulnerable to ranged moves and strong moves as well, like King Dedede's hammer or Bowser's side smash will knock him right out of the move. But something like a basic punch combo from Mario, no, Mario's going to get zapped there. Nice. So it's very minimal range, but it's a decent counter interrupt because hey, they're coming to hit me. Put up my electrical shield. They just got zapped. Now I can counter back.
Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, that's the go-to de facto move for Toxtricity, so it may or may not appear in my moveset somewhere.
I also took inspiration for how this one worked from Kirby's Plasma copy ability. Because he's got that little shield of electricity around him. Yeah. Like that's where this came from. It's like, that's cool.
Yeah, it's definitely a different take on the move, which, as you told me a few days ago, there was going to be opportunities in this moveset that were going to be
different,
surprising to me, as that was surprising to me. So yeah, I was going to ask if it's kind of like Spark or Sparky from Kirby. So
yep,
it is. Yes, it is. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Unless Spark Kirby becomes playable, then it'll work. Clearly, Spark Kirby will become playable, right? Or Plasma Kirby. No. Ice Kirby?
No.
Okay.
Clean Kirby, though.
So, Karibo?
No, clean Kirby. With the broom.
Clean Kirby's great.
I think it's a mop.
Clean Kirby is great, at least in Star Allies. Side special.
What's your side special?
My side special is called Volt Switch. So, with this side special move, Toxtricity makes a little spark, straight moving line, shoot forward. Maybe, let's say, being generous, 4 or 5 Kirbys at length, speaking of Kirby.
Okay.
So,
probably something like half or so of Battlefield. Maybe a little bit more.
Exactly. And it's kind of like a teleportation move. If, like, it just travels forward, and then Toxtricity will follow it and appear on the other end of that electrical spark at the end of the move. If it hits an opponent or an object prior to the end of the spark's movement, it will swap places with the opponent or item and appear where the opponent or item was stationed. And that's that.
Okay, that's quite a bit different than how Volt Switch is used, but interesting, and it's also what I have. With small little differences, small differences, but I have pretty much the same thing here of him using Volt Switch to throw out a small orb of electricity, and if it hits an opponent, they swap places. I didn't have to think about the items, though. I think for large items, I would agree with that. I'm not opposed to that. Like crates or barrels. Like, okay, sure. But a beam sword, no. Not with a beam sword.
I think it has to be an item that you can hit.
So something with substance. It's like a party ball.
Or like an assist trophy that you can knock out. Something like that.
Yeah, I guess an assist trophy would make sense. Yeah. But I wouldn't say like even all items that can be broken, because that would include the Mr. Freezy.
True.
And Capsule as well. Yeah, like those ones were like bigger items of stuff. It's like, and also not Smash Balls. Would not work on Smash Balls. It can damage them though.
Fucking crazy.
Sure.
Yeah.
The other thing I had on there is that the swap only happens if it hits something. If it doesn't hit anything at all, then it's just a basic projectile.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that works too.
Yeah,
that works too.
I think we could also add slight angling to it. Not like free angling, but maybe just some like diagonal up or diagonal down or straight forward.
Sure. Okay.
Like not freedom, but a little bit more restricted there, because that's potentially a very powerful side special that can fuck people over bad.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is
the only reason that I had Toxtricity moving with it, no matter what, was kind of for the sake of it being a recovery move. But I guess that doesn't necessarily need to be involved.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's funny.
I
really went out of my way to change that move.
When you said Volt Switch, I'm just like, fuck. And it's just like, oh, it can swap. It's like, no! Damn it! Damn it. Alright. Okay. Fine.
That was great.
At least I can say for sure that my extra skill is going to be unique.
Maybe.
Alright, well, up special time. What you got?
Up special
Yes,
time.
it's the one where that goes up.
So, is it?
Unless you're Jigglypuff, then you don't go anywhere.
That's why I'm Jigglypuff in my soul. Spark. It's Spark. Or an electrical field consumes Toxtricity and he zooms upwards or in a given diagonal direction, and it hurts people, and that's kind of that. It looks cool.
Okay. So he's covered in electricity. He's essentially just like leaping into the air a high distance or so.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for mine, this one is very effective. Well, how do I put this? It's more effective the closer you are to the ground. But if you're high in the air, it's not going to give you that much of a boost. It's Boom Burst.
Nice.
Boom Burst being a sound-based move in Pokemon that's, just a loud, bursting boom of sound. So how I'm imagining this is typically you would imagine Boom Burst, it's like a scream of some sorts. So you'd think, oh, Toxtricity is screaming at something. That's not how I'm having it be used here, necessarily. Instead, Boom Burst is being shot out from his feet. So he's essentially firing off these sonic waves below him, which is propelling him upwards. And I kind of feel like it'd be funny if when he's up in the air from this move, he looks super awkward. He's just kind of like flailing a little bit. It's like, oh god, what's happening? I'm in the air like this. But, so like, it's the closer you are to the ground, the higher up it's going to shoot you, because you're being propelled by a huge burst of sonic waves. But if you're already high up in the air, there's more they have to travel, so you're not going to get as much of a boost out of it. Additionally, like, people won't get hit by you when you're propelling through the air, but if they're in the range of the sonic blast below you, then they're going to be hit by that instead. And they'll also be pushed away with a wind vacuum effect.
Excellent.
I try.
Again, a different way to approach a very trademark move of Toxtricities.
I try.
Okay. Speaking of, my down special is
Boom Burst. Overdrive. It's what? Oh, Overdrive. Okay, yeah.
It's maybe we should just get into this now, but let's go to Overdrive first. The down special is Overdrive. My Overdrive works slightly differently than yours.
Okay.
He will summon his air guitar.
You know an air guitar isn't a physical thing, right?
Yeah.
You mean his electric guitar?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Kind of. I have the picture up. It's fan art, but I still have the picture up. Like this for all you visual people at home. Kind of a.
Oh. Okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah,
all right.
yeah. So it's like
So he
air
creates one out of
guitar-ish.
air. I gotcha.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, and so long as he's playing, I'm not sure what the freaking song is or whatever, but so long as he's playing the guitar, it's producing an electrical field of music notes that are like emanating from the electrical field, and those can very mildly damage opponents, or of course they run into the field, they can be damaged as well. I'm going to skip ahead. Extra skill, because it ties into this.
Okay.
It ties in. The extra skill is throat spray. So, because that's where I came up with throat spray on the fly for the victory pose. It came back to haunt us. So, throat spray. He uses throat spray. There you go. Extra skill. Down's throat spray. Great. Goes back to the down special. The down special becomes boom burst. And with boom burst, he does indeed, instead of singing though, he changes that air guitar into an air bass, which only looks mildly different. But it emanates a different color with the field that it produces. It's a sound-based field instead of an electrical-based field. And the sound-based field works similarly, except that it deflects projectiles, and that's its primary focus.
Okay.
It does not damage as well as Overdrive does, which is a much more physical move. But it, besides that, if you run into it, there's a chance it can cause a general haze and confusion, and that could be either the sound of that bass can be too loud and make your opponent, what am I trying to say here? Like their controls can be haywire a little bit for a few seconds, or they could be stunned, that sort of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my utility there. Boom. Ish.
Okay. Before we're moving on here, could you give me a real quick compare contrast between the effects of Overdrive and Boom Burst when they're being used, just to make sure I'm clear?
Yeah. Overdrive honestly works similar to yours. Electrical field, generally speaking. So it deflects characters from being able to directly attack Toxtricity.
Okay.
Generally speaking, it paralyzes them. It attacks. It hurts them with electric stuff.
Right.
Boom burst.
But what you said before about musical notes?
Yeah, there is capability for little musical notes to come out of the field and spray outwards in whatever direction and hit people.
Are they just like very minorly coming out, like the lightning bolts from mine, where it's like they're just barely there, or are they actually like traveling?
Not far. Not
okay.
Too far.
Okay, so they're. I got you. So it's pretty much.
Yeah.
So our overdrives are more or less the same, just the aesthetic is slightly different.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Boom Burst more similar aesthetic again, but it's sound waves. It looks different, and they're attributed to different effects. So because it's a wave of sound, it is capable of blocking most projectiles, like let's say Fox's gun, for instance.
Right.
That's like plasma, liquid projectiles, fire, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily if you throw a big item through it. That might be OP. And the music notes do emanate from that too, and they all serve the same purpose of potentially very minutely paralyzing them or confusing them.
Okay. Just trying to make sure I have all this visually correct here. Oh, Overdrive is the sphere around him. Boom Burst, is that also a sphere around him, or is it more like he's putting up a solid sonic shield in front of him, or is it like an actual sonic wave attack?
I'm thinking like there's sonic waves, but they're surrounding him like a circle, like the electric field.
Okay, so it is just again a sphere.
The utility is very similar between the moves.
Okay, it's just essentially that one reflects physical, one reflects ranged, and can do status effects somehow.
Yeah, because the oral sustenance affects them in their ear canals.
And that's if they're hit physically by it.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you run into it.
So both of them can reflect physical attacks then.
No, you can more easily get through Boom Burst.
Okay. So it can be attacked through, but if you just run into them, then that's when you get hit by the stuff.
Right.
Okay. That makes it a little bit more clear now.
I should have written it more. I should have written it down.
Some moves do get helped by details.
Mm-hmm.
Not all need a 3-page paragraph. But some is like, alright, there's a lot here. I need to unpack this and figure it out. Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Like Marshall's up special that we decided on. That was a fun one.
That took some details, yes. That had to be worked up quite a bit. It did.
Mm-hmm.
My down special is quite a bit simpler than that. It's acid spray. I kind of see this move as being very simple, very similar to Squirtle's water gun. You charge it up really quickly, then you spit out little globs of acid in a rapid shotgun-like manner. It also kind of similar to the Plague from Dead by Daylight, but not that much range, because holy fucking shit, that'd be nuts. Being hit by it will damage you, of course, and if a little bit of the acid just like hits on the stage instead of a player, it'll kind of like stay there a little bit, bubbling, and if you run through it, you're going to get damaged. Simple enough.
Yeah. Nice.
Not a very long range, though. It's a fairly short range.
Similar in utility to Gunk Shot, then.
Yeah, a little bit. Except the difference is there is that I'm imagining Gunk Shot probably has more heft to it than Acid Spray does.
Mm-hmm.
And it also will slow down instead of damage if it's stuck on the stage. Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Since you already went over your extra skill, I figured I'll go ahead and go over mine here at this point as well. Mine is not connected to my down special, and it's not Throat Spray. It is Rising Voltage. I think this move, I'm not sure. It's a new Gen 8 move. And the way I have this one built up is that it needs to charge up on its own. Kind of like Wario and his Wario Waft. But instead of this move being charged up over time, it's charged up by your movement. So you have to move around to get this move to charge up, and you can tell how charged it's getting by the static electricity building up around Toxtricity's feet. Movement, running around, your feet are getting all this electricity stored up. When it's fully maxed out, it'll start to flash a little bit, and it'll change to a more red color. Or not necessarily red, but more like an orangey kind of color, so it's just the regular yellow. Maybe it should be blue, I don't know. Whatever. But once you activate the move, depending on how much you let it charge up, Toxtricity will have a bolt of lightning appear that shoots upwards. Kind of as of a bit of an opposite to Pikachu's Thunderbolt, which comes down from a cloud above. This lightning bolt goes up. It's called Rising Voltage for a reason, and its animation in Pokemon shows the lightning bolt coming from the ground and shooting upwards. So it's like, oh, you think you're safe above me? Palutena's laser, bitch. Lightning bolt. The more charged it is, the larger it is, the higher up it goes, the more damage, yada yada.
Nice. Hey, what if your down special Acid Spray, what if you tied it into the extra skill in this sense? acid spray, it hurts the inside of Toxtricity's mouth. So in order to use it again, it needs to use throat spray to heal.
That sounds like nobody would ever use the move ever.
But if you use throat spray,
no.
Karibo will appear.
Which Karibo? Are we talking about Karibo? Or Winged Karibo? Curry Babylon? Curry Volt?
Karibo.
The Curry Bandit Brothers?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Which fucking one?
Winged Karibo.
There are too many. Alright, Winged Karibo or Winged Karibo level 10?
The first one.
Are you sure? Because level 10 has bigger wings.
What about Nimble Momonga?
What about Giant Germ? No, not Giant Germ. Yeah, it is Giant Germ. What about Giant Germ?
Yes.
Okay. How about the Medolces? Or the Insectors?
Yes. Hulk Hogan.
Elemental Hero, Burstinatrix.
Yes. Yes.
Destiny Hero, Diamond Dude.
I do like Diamond Dudes. It's
So you like Wario?
Yeah.
Okay, of Diamond City.
Chiseled frame.
Yes.
There's the movesets, I guess.
Well, not
there's
not
skills,
quite.
I guess.
Not quite. Final Smash.
Frick. Yeah.
Do you have one?
Yes.
Okay, then tell me. What is it?
Okay. Stun Shock.
G-Max Stun Shock?
Yep.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Toxtricity activates the move, slashes through opponents or whatever. I haven't quite workshopped that one out. But, I have it taking it into a cinematic. There's Gigantamax Toxtricity.
There is.
You're in a Gigantamax arena. Toxtricity looms overhead, looking all Gigantamaxy. Gets a giant version of that air guitar we've been speaking of.
Well, this time he has an electric guitar.
Yeah.
Like, literally.
Yeah. And slams it into the opponents and engulfs the arena in electricity. Cut back to the battle. Bada bing, bada boom. Nice and easy.
It is. It is. But that's not how I portray it. This time it's not a cinematic. So I'm taking a little bit of liberties here with how this Gigantamax move and his Gigantamax form is presented in Sword and Shield. Sakurai kind of has a little bit of history doing this with the Pokemon. Trying to think of what's like Incineroars. It's got a different name than what his Z move is in Sun and Moon, and I think it looks a little bit different as well. And he likes messing with that just a little bit. So I decided to take a little bit of inspiration for that. It does still feature Toxtricity changing into his Gigantamax form, but instead of kind of like being on the ground or being like in a cinematic or even in the background, he's actually just still there on the stage in this form. But he's larger, and he's got his guitar out. And what he's going to do with this move, instead of like swinging it and just like bashing his guitar into somebody, he's going to do a riff on it and just shoot this large electrical blast wave, kind of similar to the Inkling's Killer Whale. In terms of like when it gets up to its large size, it's going to be roughly about that same kind of a size, but in more of a cone shape. He's just going to shoot that off in a direction. And when you're using the move, you can tap your control stick to set what that direction is going to be. You can't then change it. Like, you can't make it swing around. But you can just, like, tilt if you want it to be straight up or to the side, whatever you want that direction to be. And he's going to shoot this massive electrical sonic beam attack, essentially. Which just fires off in a direction and hits a wide range area.
Nice. So there's Sonic Boom and now there's Sonic Beam.
I mean, it's G-Max Stun Shock still, but it's really less of a beam, more of a cone of energy.
Got it. Okay. Cone shaped.
Yeah.
Canicular.
Yes.
Like Mother Brain's laser.
Yes.
Okay, I see it.
But it's more focused than that. Because I don't want it to hit the whole stage, you know.
Sure.
That
Okay.
said, if he's far enough to one side and he just shoots it straight forwards, I mean, the whole right side might get hit by it. I don't know. Kind of depends on the stage. If it's Great Cave Offensive, that's a wide area. But I mean, it'd have a range limit, of course. Like, it's not going to go from left to right fully of Great Cave Offensive. But you know what I mean.
Yeah, because no one ever will use Great Cave Offensive to know.
I mean, you're right.
Nice.
So there's our moves. I have a few ideas already of what we can do with it, but what are your thoughts?
What are my thoughts? Other skills. Toxtricity can wall cling.
That's after the moves, but
Yeah.
I had nothing written on his other abilities because I didn't really think any of it really worked for him too well.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Got it. Anyway, what am I thinking here?
Yes, for movesets.
Standard. Yeah.
Like, I have a few ideas on where some things can go, but
yeah. Number one, Volt Switch is a lock.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm. Because we had the same fucking move.
Yep.
So, surprisingly enough. That was good. Extra skill. I am blanking on the name of your extra skill.
Rising Voltage.
Rising Voltage is clearly better than Throat Spray because Throat Spray only works in the function that I did if we're using the down special that I made, which I don't think we are. Acid Spray, but then again, Acid Spray or Gunk Shot, do we need room for both?
That's where I have an idea.
Really?
Here's what I'm thinking. Gunk Shot and Overdrive, but Overdrive is on the down special and Gunk Shot is on the standard. Because when I was coming up with things, I considered, I initially had Overdrive as being considered for the down special, and I initially had Acid Spray on the side special. And I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. Because like, I'm missing things, so I need another move. What the fuck to pick, though? And I was like, oh shit, Volt Switch. Oh my god, there's an idea. Put Volt Switch on side. I moved Acid Spray to down. I moved Overdrive to standard. But Acid Spray, or Gunk Shot rather, I mean, could still work easily as a good standard special, and Overdrive works just as good on standard or on down. So if it's down and Gunk Shot is standard, I think that works just fine.
Yeah. Are there any elements of Acid Spray we'd be bringing into Gunk Shot?
I don't really feel like we need to.
All right. Maybe that'll be the new up special for all we know.
I doubt it.
It just leaps into the air and spirals and spews acid everywhere.
Let's save that for the Swallock character submission we do next time, since we're apparently only doing poison type Pokemon. The next Pokemon won't be poison type, probably.
It's gonna be Cinderace.
It's gonna be Ekans.
To the DLC punch. There you go. It's gonna be coughing riding Mokujin.
It's going to be coughing riding Galarian, wheezing riding Mokujin.
There you go. Galarian wheezing.
So we've got most of these picked out now. We've got Overdrive, we've got Volt Switch, we've got Gunk Shot, we've got G-Max Stun Shock. Just which one? Don't know yet. And then it's the up special that we don't know about. Oh, also Rising Voltage.
Mm-hmm.
So what version of our Final Smashes are you thinking?
So yours, again, just so I'm getting it clear, you're shooting out a conical spray from the guitar.
Yes.
And the further to one side of the stage you are, the more technical you may be able to engulf in the sound wave.
Well, yeah, because that's how a cone works.
Yeah. So then it sprays out, it extends over time, and just knocks opponents
And it's a quick attack. Like, it doesn't, like, fire off. Like, it doesn't shoot out and then go. Like, it's still shooting, like what Killer Whale does. Like, it's doing those constant hits in that direction. But it's more...
Right.
It's... I would say that it's as wide as Killer Whale at about its midpoint.
Got it. Okay.
That's what I would say in terms of trying to get a size more narrowed down, and then you can angle when you're starting it off what direction it's shooting in, but beyond that you cannot alter the direction. It's just locked.
Got it. Yeah. I mean, it works. It works just fine. I kind of just ripped it from the game.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what I was going to do originally too, but I didn't like the visual I was coming up with of him hitting them with the guitar. I was just like, what can I do to change this?
Yeah. You know, I kind of just went with the original, not just because I wanted to stick to the original, which I don't really have.
Which is usually me.
Why I did it was because I thought it was pretty rock, not necessarily punk, but pretty rock and roll to smash your guitar on stage.
You right.
And see what makes people get upset about it, like David Crosby, his crotchety butt. But yeah, pull a Jimi Hendrix, the Offspring, Who, and just smash it into the ground. What did you think of the recent controversy of Phoebe Bridgers smashing her guitar on the SNL stage?
I mean, man, you know, some people, they just gotta know when enough is enough.
Oh, it was totally staged, but
I don't even know who these people are.
Seems
I have not watched a single episode of SNL in my entire life.
Yeah. All you missed was Black Jeopardy. Anyway, so that's where I was going with it. But at the same time, you can make it pretty punk rock with your version of G-Max Stunt Shock as well. Just have him going freaking wild on the guitar. Yeah. So either which way, there's still the attitude is there. What do I enjoy? The visual of just taking your guitar and getting it and just smashing it on the ground. I wasn't going to do it.
I was concerned, not that you were going to do it, but that you would lose control and accidentally hit something or throw it. I'm like, this could be a disaster in the making.
Imagine if
I'm both here for it and not here for it. Oh no.
I would throw it into all my boxes and lose all my moving stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm moving, by the way. This is probably the last episode
Goodbye.
We're recording in this house. Yeah.
Until
a lot of places.
Never see you again.
Brand new adventure.
Have fun.
And maybe not. It's gonna be a fake out like a Zerta.
Yes.
Get a Lazerta fan 88 or whatever.
They stole my stage! To be fair, what other options were there? To be fair, it's the only option.
The place where you go looking for crabs.
Yeah. Crabbles, but yeah.
Yeah, crabbles, yeah.
Anyways, so you're thinking my G-Max Stunt Shock. Okay. So then the last...
I thought you were thinking mine.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, if you liked yours enough and you argued for it, I'm like, okay. But no. The last movie, though, we need to figure out...
I'm not a big fan of CGI. Ultimate,
I mean,
that's what
I think they work sometimes. Especially when, it's the best way to present an idea. Like, the Mega Man one. That one is very clearly best done as a cinematic.
Really,
same with... yeah, I guess. And King K. Rool's. Some of these really need to be cinematics, but they don't all have to be. Which is where sometimes we like to do something different.
Kirby.
Even though I think probably most of our Final Smashes have been cinematics.
Sometimes it works, like with Gengar.
Yes. But we have one last move to figure out, and that is the up special between Spark or Boom Burst.
Oh, that's not very difficult. Boom burst is clearly the better option.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess
I mean,
that's...
if you've had a dissenting argument, then
I don't. I mean, I would have been willing to listen to your argument if you said spark. But if you ask me my thoughts, I prefer boom burst. It might be a little bit awkward in execution, but it's something different. It perhaps is a little bit weird to see him be firing it downwards, essentially through his feet. But it's better than some suggestions I've seen where, oh, he leans his head down and screams at the ground. That looks fucking dumb. I'm sorry, but visually, that does not look good. I'm sorry, people, but I disagree.
mm-hmm.
The thing a lot of us, including myself, have to always keep in mind is, okay, sure, this sounds good on paper, but how would it look? And him bending his head downwards to scream is just a weird visual.
A lot of men have. So that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting. Yeah. No, I think boom burst. It's such a move with Toxtricity. Not having boom burst would be like not having overdrive.
Yeah.
Kinda, sorta. So that's part of it. The other part of it is spark is just a standard move. It's not a bad move. It's one of those things though that you can apply to almost any Pokemon that can use electric type moves.
It's also just I mean, it's a normal type move, which is not well represented in Smash. How many normal type moves do we have in Smash? Just Skull Bash?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I guess Pound from Jigglypuff. Which is really weird that Pound is a special move. Let's be clear. Yeah. That's strange. Like, I was considering Poison Jab for Toxtricity, but I couldn't think of a way to make it be special enough to be a special move, and not just, oh, this is a side smash.
Mm-hmm. There's if we ever get to like a Galvantula moveset, it can use Spark.
Yeah, sure. Or Electro Web.
Yeah. There you go. Mm-hmm. I don't know why we would ever get to that moveset, but who the hell knows? 20 years down the road.
I mean, Galvantula is an interesting Pokemon. It is. There's no denying that.
Yeah.
It's better than Stunfisk.
Yeah.
But to be fair, the next time we do a Pokemon, this is not me saying what we're doing, but I would like to do a type that's not represented in Smash. We've got a lot of electric. Mm-hmm. We've got a few poison, counting our Toxtricity and Gengar. I like something different. Maybe I'm just throwing ideas out. A dragon? Ice type? Maybe. Fairy? Maybe. Sure, Jigglypuff is fairy type, but does it do anything that's fairy? No. They could have changed its Final Smash to be play rough. They did not.
Nope.
I disagree with the decision.
Smeargle, who can do anything, just like we mentioned before.
True. But we've already got a painter moveset.
That we do. That was a episode and a half.
It was. That one had some post-episode workshopping that had to be done. Quite a bit.
It has happened sometimes.
Yeah, a few times.
But, we figured out the moveset. Good for us. Pat on the back.
But wait. There's more.
Ah.
What about the second extra skill? It's Throat Spray, everyone! We're bringing it back! When he uses this, Boom Burst goes even higher! No, I'm kidding. Alternate costumes. Alternate costumes. That's the last thing we have to figure out for Toxtricity here. We already kind of mentioned it at the beginning. He's going to split his costumes. Fiber in the amped up form, Fiber in the low key form. The forms aren't that different between each other. The number and pattern of the little chest bumpy thingies, that's different. I think it's just like his hair, the electrical hair shit. I think that's different. Like amped up. Yeah. Oh, actually, it's also colors a little bit. The amped up form has like one singular yellow electrical hairline, I guess, whatever you want to call it. The low key form has more like a blue color to him instead of yellow, and he has two blue lines going down. But those two, that's his first two costumes, and then just like general recolors after that. One of them will be his shiny.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, both forms couldn't get a shiny because then it'd just be the same looking. But maybe like I'm not sure what his shiny color is actually, but maybe one can be like the inverse of it. I don't know. But like,
Yeah,
you get your red, you get your green, you get your orange, your black, your white, and I'd probably just have it be like his purple form. That's the part of the color that changes. But depending on whether he's Loki or Amp, that still is either like the yellow or the light blue.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. I had it changing colors, but if you want to make it that way and make it a little more readable, that's fine.
I think it just shows better off like which one it is.
Yeah, and that's what I have written down too. It's just like burgundy, blue, green, pink, black, brown, white, orange.
Yeah.
I
mean, some of these we have like specific things we can base it off of. I don't think we really have that with Toxtricity.
When we did Rex and Pyra and based it off of the other Xenoblade characters.
Yeah, and then when I was putting on the wiki, I went nuts and had both Pyra and Mythra be based off of different blades as well. It's like, oh my god, that was too much.
Yeah,
I'm really curious to know what their costumes are going to be like in Ultimate.
Well, that's what I'm waiting for. You know, at the time of recording, they haven't come out, and we're waiting on the direct still. So we'll see. Like, the costumes have been hidden for some reason. It's either they're going to be pretty interesting, or they're going to say, "Oh yeah, they don't have costumes."
I mean, the costumes were always only revealed after the Sakurai Presents. It wasn't when they were first. Like, this is the rarity where we're actually going to see who the character is before the Presents. This is not common from what we've had before.
Yeah.
The last time we knew who the character was before the Presents, Banjo-Kazooie and Hero.
Yeah, E3.
That was the last time. Actually, we might have had the costumes for Hero, but I think Hero was also his Sakurai Presents wasn't that long away, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
Okay, yeah, that's true. I'd forgotten the precedent. It's been such a long time.
It's been a while.
Yeah. Okay, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
That wasn't. That was like ripping off a Band-Aid in a two-fold hog tie throwdown on the ranch,
which we'll get into in that episode. It sounds like you need help again.
It's pretty easy. Not too harsh of an episode. Workshopping Toxtricity, but it was.
Oh, I figure I might as well discuss here since we've still got a decent amount of time left. We said the homestage was going to be. Forgot the name. Okay. Spike Muff City. I just figured go into a little bit more detail about that stage in case anybody's watching this that didn't watch that episode we did. So Spike Muff City in Sword and Shield is the city of the Dark type gym, the first and only Dark type gym so far in the Pokemon games, which fucking finally. And it's designed kind of like a old school arcade beat 'em up game, with having to scroll by enemies jump down from windows and whatnot. And for the stage that I had built for this, it has 3 different screens that it can transition from. It always starts in the middle screen, and then sometimes it'll pan to the left or it'll pan to the right, and it has just different layouts from there. One layout having a big pile of trash in the middle, so hey, maybe that's where Gunk Shot comes from. Maybe.
Yeah.
You mentioned special abilities earlier. Was wall cleaning something that you thought Toxtricity should have?
Either or. Just kind of looked like the type to me.
Okay. I didn't really have it on there for him. I truthfully, I didn't even think about any of them because it's just like he's kind of big. I kind of felt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe it'd be amusing to see him crawl, but I didn't really have any of that under consideration. But
yeah. Why can't Metroid crawl?
I don't know.
You think that we should have put a kind of a morph ball move into this set?
No.
Okay.
Anyways, that's really all I have left to say about Toxtricity. Is there anything you want to part on with this character? It's kind of a really easy one for us. We knocked this one out pretty simply.
Yeah.
Which I think
you had some
we knew would happen.
Yeah. Like with Gengar. Gengar we pretty much had all the same moves selected.
Just used in different ways.
Yeah, the utilization. So that was actually a kind of a in-depth discussion regardless, but the moveset's infrastructure was generally there.
Yeah.
This, to me, was kind of more like Rex and Pyra when we did them, where we knew from the onset what we were going to do, and it was like, yeah, there it is. But then there were ways to be inventive still with Toxtricity.
Volt switch.
You brought a lot of inventiveness to the side, and tested into what we were doing together in unison for some reason. So many of the taunts and victory poses, Volt switch as well, all being very similar to one another. So that was part of the easiness of it all. The hog tie ranch throwdown, if you will, whatever that was. The easiness of it. So it was easier moveset for us than we usually have.
We've had a few that were difficult.
Oh, we have. You mentioned Adeline earlier. That was
you
one
did,
of them.
Actually. But Adeline was probably one of the hardest discussions we've ever had in terms of trying to narrow the moves down. It's like, okay, but which moves and how are these working? That one was rough.
Yeah.
That was rough.
Yeah. Or Ezio and his courtesans and having to cut them.
Porky also had a little bit of difficulty.
Yeah. Whenever you bring in RNG, it's a bit of a...
Whenever you bring in a guest.
Also true.
There's a third voice and there's an extra set of options.
Mm-hmm. Given Ezio wasn't that bad when we had a guest. But Toxtricity, this is...
very simple.
It was good. It was relaxed. With everything going on behind me, I'm kind of happy to have it be a relaxed room set.
Yeah.
And I would be very happy with Toxtricity being in Smash. And I think if he were to be, in some way or another, it would be very similar to what we had. In some ways, Sakurai and the team would figure out new ways to excite us that we couldn't figure out. And in other ways, like with Volt Switch, I would imagine that we would have a leg up.
Yeah.
So it was cool. It was fun. And we did 2 music-oriented characters in a row, which is funny. And I enjoyed that little period of time, which we're probably going to break in the next Smashtopia until we do Jimmy T. Cheerio.
All right. Well,
Runaway 5.
I don't know. Maybe it'll be a literal pair of headphones.
Bottles from Banjo-Kazooie.
Headphones Mario.
Yeah. And he plays bottles. Yeah. Exactly. What a...
we could always have a cat Luigi.
Nice. Cat, Mario, Luigi, and Peach.
Yeah.
Was that from Target?
I guess.
Nice.
It came with Mario 3D World. Apparently. I don't know.
Well, let's drink some Milky while you play as a cat.
No. So that's really all we have here. Toxtricity is pretty well and done. Naturally, we'll be doing more Pokemon in the future. Pokemon's a pretty easy franchise. There's over 900 Pokemon. We can easily pick one out and do one all the time. So if anybody has ones they want to see us cover, please do go ahead and leave suggestions. We give no guarantees. I'm sorry, but I don't know how it would make Diglett work. But hey, well, at least think about it. But next time, we're going back to the world of Smash or Dash, and we've got a little bit of a theme for you on this one. It's going to be a case of law and a case of crime. And we'll see how the characters from each of those shakes out, and which ones we add to Smash and which ones we dash in the next episode.
We're going to set a Law and Order precedent.
But that's a TV show, and Law and Order are the same thing.
Oh, it was...
I think you mean Order versus Chaos, and Chaos won! 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Get excited.
2 and 3. Good old times. Toxtricity, last final thoughts.
Toxtricity voted for Chaos.
Oh, absolutely. And it's a really cool Pokemon. I think if anything gets me to play Gen 8 at some point, Toxtricity is near the top of the list.
And hey, and you can get one easy.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. So one of these days. And I think it actually has a fighting chance to be a playable character. I don't
I
know if
think so
it's
too.
now.
The only I
But
think
yeah,
the thing that's most going that would most go against Toxtricity's favor is if we don't get a Gen 8 Pokemon for DLC, then Gen 9 is most likely going to happen for the next Smash, and then Gen 8 is probably going to get ignored in terms of Smash potential. Just like what happened with Gen 3 and
Yeah.
Gen 5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, unfortunately so. Could have easily had Blaziken in there.
Yeah, we could have. We could have.
Mm-hmm. Well, still, this is a fun one. And onwards towards the smashing or dashing children. I will see you
Then.
whatever time you end up watching the show. Yeah. Then.
Bye.